But they say Kayleigh McEnany. You know Kayleigh, right? Kayleigh McEnany. Good Kayleigh. She's so great. She's incredible. They closed down her account. She's the White House press secretary because she's reporting the truth. They closed down her account. So let's see what's going to happen.
And also Joe Biden, in this latest gaffe on the campaign trail, the former vice president apparently acted as if he wasn't sure which race he was running for during a speech in Ohio yesterday. Listen to this, Kayleigh. I want to get your reaction.
Nothing can stop us. You know, we have to come together. That's why I'm running. I'm running as a proud Democrat for the Senate.
This is heartbreaking to see this. The Democrat candidate also reiterated his plan to repeal President Trump's tax legislation and raise taxes. Kayleigh, what's your reaction to all that has taken place in this campaign?
It's unsurprising to see more gaffes from Joe Biden, but the biggest gaffe of all was when he literally told a reporter that voters did not deserve to know whether he would pack the Supreme Court. Of course, voters deserve to know if he would reshape the public, as the Senate told Franklin Delano Roosevelt in the 1930s when he tried this. It would reform the Senate. It would take away the filibuster. It would change the makeup of the Supreme Court forevermore, making it a partisan body, as Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg said. So that was a massive gaffe, one of many this week, but voters do deserve to know. We do deserve answers. We deserve to know where our elected officials and certainly the President of the United States stands.
Europe, for instance, has experienced a 28% higher excess mortality rate than the United States. Look at the fact that we have one of the lowest case fatalities in the world. Look at the fact that from scratch, we developed the largest and most advanced testing system in the entire world, testing more than every country in Europe put together and more than every nation in the Western Hemisphere combined. Look at the fact that we have 3 vaccines in phase 3 clinical trial. That is a historic response, mobilizing the private sector the fastest, or mobilizing the private sector to the greatest degree since World War II. This president has broken through barriers. He's a businessman. He's the commander-in-chief. He's the leader of the country, and he has done a phenomenal job, to quote none other than Governor Andrew Cuomo.
I was letting a colleague finish. Can I ask my question?
No, I'm not going to reward not speaking up and asking your question. Go ahead. Anyone else? Yes.
I'm gonna...
Go ahead.
Okay, thanks.
Kayleigh, if he's a law and order president, why does he keep breaking the law?
Really egregious, and I addressed it on Friday, but it's worth updating this Atlantic story written by a liberal activist. Now you have 25 people who have spoken out and dismissed this story, and now you even have the author of the story who said, quote, "I share the view that it's not good enough," quote, referring to the fact that he did this false report based on anonymous sources. And basically, when you look at the liberal activist who wrote this, he has a very bad history. He can't be trusted. The left's new hero used to be their #1 enemy for his role in the U.S. entry into Iraq. Indeed, in the early 2000s, this author was then at the New Yorker, and he extensively wrote on the possible links between Iraq and al-Qaeda, a suggested link that was key behind the decision of U.S. involvement in Iraq. He relied on people who, in his words, quote, "seemed to me to be credible," who said that they had information about such connections between al-Qaeda and Iraq. And Goldberg's reporting simply backed up his view that the U.S. should invade Iraq. In Slate in 2002, this author argued in favor of the U.S. invading Iraq. And later, he even admitted that he knew people blamed him for helping to get the U.S. into the war. He wrote a sarcastic piece saying, yes, I know I started the Iraq War. His reporting cannot be trusted, as noted by the fact that 25 people have come out on the record dismissing his report, the report by a liberal activist. Thank you.
Why did he call it a hoax?
So, Kayleigh, yesterday when the president said, get rid of the ballots, there won't be a transfer, frankly, there'll be a continuation. Which particular ballots is he talking about wanting to get rid of, and why does he think that would help him get elected?
The president wants to get rid of mass mail-out voting, and that's not because he said clearly that could go either way. It could damage either candidate's chances because it's a system that's subject to fraud. In fact, in the last 24 hours, police in Greenville, Wisconsin, found mail in a ditch, and it included absentee ballots. And also, I can confirm for you that Trump ballots, ballots for the president, were found in Pennsylvania, and I believe you should be getting more information on that shortly. Here in the last 24 hours, they were found cast aside.
Thank you, Kayleigh. Yesterday, the Senate released an 87-page report on Hunter Biden and Joe Biden's dealings across the board with Ukraine and with Russia. Specifically, it showed Hunter Biden supporting Russian prostitution, human trafficking, and receiving $3.5 million from Moscow. The question to you is, does the White House have any intention of helping the DOJ should an investigation be opened up on the Bidens? And number two, do you have a response to Rudy Giuliani yesterday telling us that this should immediately disqualify Joe Biden from his candidacy?
Yeah, that was a very troubling report. You know, I'll leave it to the DOJ as to how they move forward. But I mean, I think this New York Post cover says it all. You know, I heard so much about Russia collusion, but it appears the only collusion going on was between Hunter Biden as he accepted $3.5 million from the wife of the Moscow mayor. Very troubling indeed. And in addition to that, Ukraine money as well. And it's good that the Senate looked into that. But finally, I would like to note the situation in Louisville, Kentucky last night. There were reports of vandalism. There were nearly 100 arrests, and the Trump administration urges calm and reminds those who wish to have their voices heard to do so peacefully. You have a right to peaceful protest, as outlined in the First Amendment. And the Attorney General Daniel Cameron said, if we simply act on emotion or outrage, there is no justice. Mob justice is not justice. Justice sought by violence is not justice. It just becomes revenge.
Welcome to my house.